You want the main focus to be here because this is your face. From outside inwards. And see, I don't know how to talk anymore because my makeup's done.
She a baddie, she knows she a 10. She a baddie with her baddie friend.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Toyo Muyiwa. I'm back with the vibes, and I don't know, I'm trying to get a catchphrase, you guys. I'm struggling, but help me if you have any other suggestions, sha. But that's by the way. If you're new here, thank you so much for clicking this video, and don't forget to tap the subscribe button. And if you're not new here, thank you so much for clicking this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through my base routine to get a flawless, transfer-proof, timeless makeup in 5 simple steps. No bars. First things first, I'm going to be doing my brows off camera, so I'll be right back. My brows are done, so we're gonna get straight into the skin. The first tip. Your skin work. If you see most pro makeup artists, the first thing they always do is your skin, and they take their time. It make you feel like they're massaging your face. You can't really do that on a day-to-day. You can if you want, but like what I do for mine, just for on a basic level, you can always add on over time. On a basic level, done my skincare already. It already has a little bit of a glow. I'm going for more of a matte look today, so I made sure it wasn't too dewy. If you want to add any sunscreen, now's the time. You add everything first. Do your skincare first, and this particular tip is the best thing that happened to my makeup routine in the past 2 years. If you're into makeup, you should know. If you're not and you're new, my pro tip is the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. It's the best thing that I've added to my routine in like the past 2 years. The Airbrush Flawless Finish Charlotte Tilbury setting spray. This is a lifesaver. The days I do not use it, I see so much of a difference. Like, I just know there was something missing from my routine. It's almost out, but like I already have a sample waiting because we don't play about TT. I spray this on my face, let it dry. It serves as an extra layer for your foundation, concealer, and so on to apply on rather than applying it directly to your skin. And I just feel like it makes everything apply way better. Now that that's done, my second tip, you apply all your creams first before you add any powder. That is the rule, that is the law. All creams first, no powder in between, blend seamlessly. So that is this particular step. Don't add any powder if you know you're going to still add contour stick on your face. Don't add any powder if you know you're going to still add liquid blush. Unless that's like what you're going for. For example, I add my liquid highlighter on top of my full face when it's done. That's a different case. That's exactly what I'm going for. But if you're going for a flawless base, I hope that made sense. So now the foundation I'm going to be using in this video, I'm sorry if I butchered the name. I've been struggling to pronounce it for like the past. I've been struggling, but it's the Lancome foundation. I got sent the 2 foundations, the one without SPF, and this is the one with SPF. So my shade is 500C, and this is the Lancome Teint Idol Ultra Wear Foundation, and yeah, 500C. It is such a skin match. It is breathable. I'm going to read what it says. Up to 24-hour wear foundation, breathable coverage, and so on. I wore it yesterday, and if you check my TikTok, you should actually see a full day in my life with the foundation, so you know how it wears over the hours. Okay, so I wore this yesterday and I absolutely love it. It's going to be my best foundation at the moment. Honestly, like, I genuinely love. I've been trying a couple of foundations at recently, and this is definitely something on top of my list. It just gives off skin. Love it. That's what I have to say. And it's buildable, so if you want it to be more full coverage, you just need to add a little bit more. My skin is more so even, so I don't need too much, but I still like a full glam, so I'm gonna apply it all over my face. Okay, so I'm currently at my boyfriend's side, so I do not have all my makeup stuff, but like, I'm going to be using this small brush. It is not really important. I'm just going to use it to apply this to my face, then I'll use a bigger, denser brush to blend it out. Okay, the consistency of the foundation is very liquidy. As you can see, it's dripping down, so I added 3 pumps. I normally go with 2 pumps if it's a thicker consistency. Okay, so I'm just going to apply more to the areas with higher pigmentation. As you can see, it fades into my skin like nothing. This is just the darker places of my face, like the around my lips, my chin, and basically like my eye area, but like it doesn't really matter. Me, I try my best to apply more on the places that are darker than the other. I see it blends seamlessly, and this is how you know it's a match. Not all the time. Some foundations actually oxidize, so it depends on the foundation you're working with, but this one stayed the same all through, so I know it doesn't really get darker over time. And plus it has SPF inside, so that's great to know. So I did not add sunscreen when I was doing my skincare routine because it has it in the formula. So let me know if you guys want more tutorials. I'm going to try my best to do more, but it's so discouraging doing more tutorials on YouTube because they don't really do well unless you're like a proper like beauty influencer, and makeup tutorials are a lot of work, so I don't see myself really doing that like as a main means. I see it more as a casual, like once in a while, if I update something in my makeup routine, if I try new products, I'll do a video, but like if I don't, you're gonna be stuck with the last one until there's a change. So I just added a little bit more because it was done and I didn't spread on my nose. I didn't realize that till now, but like that's how good of a match it is. I don't have the best product at the moment, but like I'm going to be using this brush. The aim is for it to be a soft, thick brush so that it spreads evenly. Your aim is also to dab, but because there are a little bit of lines, I'm gonna do a little bit of dabbing and also like moving, swaying a little bit, just because I want it to cover everywhere seamlessly. So your aim when blending out is for there to be no demarcation of products. So if you're doing concealer, if you're doing a brighter shade, you want it to basically not be a harsh line defining where this stops and that stops. That's your aim, because that's when people start looking crazy. And basically my aim is basically for it to look like skin-ish. On camera my skin looks a little bit darker, not even darker, like it looks a little bit darker than my skin, but like I promise in person it's exactly my shade. So as you can see, it is quite blended. It's giving skin. I'm gonna get closer just so you guys can really see this foundation. Like, are you crazy? And all I do is dab, 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 dab. If someone is looking too much, dab, dab, dab. I also try to put less foundation under my eyes because I know I'm still going to add concealer. So for today, the concealers I'm going to be using 3 concealers today for my under eye. You don't have to be like me. I'm just doing it because I have the means, and I've been getting some PR lately, so I have more than I need. But on a normal day, I would say you only need one concealer that is like 2 shades lighter than your foundation, or 3 if you want to go lighter. I have Too Faced in Warm Sand, which is for my everyday looks, which is like 4 shades brighter than me. I also have this for a super bright under eye. This is the Natural Beige. It is an extra shade. It's a little bit, I don't know how many shades more honestly, but it's just a very bright concealer. I don't put too much of it, so that's why this one's almost done. This one's almost done. But yeah, and I recently got sent the YSL All Hours Precise Angles concealer, and in shade DW4. To me, this is more my skin shade rather than like a concealer that I would use. So I honestly started using it just to like balance out the bright under eye, if that makes sense. So you can just watch me. I'm just going to apply. And as I said, the tip for this step is apply all your creams before you add any powder. Okay, so I'm sure I look crazy, but like this contour placement, I found it on TikTok. I did it yesterday and I liked it, so I'm trying it again today. You don't have to do it like this, but this is just to tell you that I do all my creams first. Then you blend, then you set. It may be creasing, but that's why you can still go back in and blend it again, okay? Even if it's creasing while you're applying and you feel like it's getting messy, you can always go back to blend it again. So you're going to blend it as many times as it takes for it to not crease before you set it. If you set it while it's creasing, that's when it looks crazy. And now it is set in the place. What setting does is basically to freeze it how you apply it, wherever you applied it. That's why it's very important how you set your face as well. Let's blend this out, okay? I don't know why I've been liking this contour, this thing, and the shade is not too far off. Don't worry, it's not going to show. The aim today is to teach you how to blend. I'm not the best person to teach because I use one brush for everything, and it's because it works for me. So you have to find what works for you, okay? And if you think you want to try my own method, the e.l.f. brush, the e.l.f. Ultimate Blending Brush is the best brush. I've recommended everybody that I've taught makeup. Yeah, I've taught some people makeup. Everybody that I recommend as a beginner, that's the easiest blending brush you're gonna find. And it's like $4. I don't know, this economy is probably like $6, but like $4. This is the same brush, but like it's broke. It doesn't break that often, I promise. I just had it for a very long time. So, but like I don't mind it like this. It feels like a beauty blender. So also when blending, this step you have to blend outside inwards, okay? From the outside. So all the darker shades, deal with that first, then you now start blending in this area, if that makes sense. Your aim is not to blend it outward, it's for it to come all the way to the middle, okay? I'm trying to be as simplified as possible. From outside inwards, you want the main focus to be here because this is your face, you get me? The only thing you're going to be blending outwards is maybe this, because you want it to like disappear. But for here, your aim is to just blend from outside to the next step, to the next step, to the next step, and then we deal with the bright under eyes last. And if you didn't notice, I added concealer on my eyelid, so you can always blend that with the bright under eye, etc, etc. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it makes much of a difference, but that's just by the way. And I also told you I adding the YSL concealer to soften my transfer. So anyone that's learning how to blend, that's a good tip too. Get a medium concealer just so that it makes it easier for you to blend, okay? Me, I just started doing it yesterday and it made sense, and I'm just adding it to my routine. But let's get blending, okay? The only reason why I'm rotating is because I do not like very harsh contours. I like it very subtle. Like I want it to do the job. I want it simple, like minimal but effective, if that makes sense. Just a little bit of bronzer is okay. That's why I'm rubbing it, so that it fades a little bit, but like I still need it there. If you can see, it's still there. My jawline is still defined, but it's not as harsh. That's why I'm rubbing it. If you dab it like this, it's gonna stay the same shade, and I really didn't want it to show that much. It looks a little bit excessive, but I don't know if you can see a difference, but at least I feel like I can. And I blend any excess under my chin. It's not even gonna show, but like for the most part. So next, I'm blending here. I'm blending like this because I want it to show, but I don't want it to be too harsh. So I'm dabbing it. Can you see? It's still chiseled, but I just need it to disappear a little bit. And this contour sticks are a little bit harsh, but I have very limited brushes on me right now, so I'm gonna do what I'm capable of doing. So can you still see the... Yeah, that's what I'm going for. It's giving model. I literally just washed this headband and it's getting stained all over again. But can you see that? That's what I'm going for. So you contour however you like, but the main tip I want you to take away from this is blend outwards, inwards, okay? I don't know if you have any questions, but I don't prime. I use the setting spray, the Charlotte resetting spray to prime. I don't prime my face. I just do my skincare and then, yeah. So now we're getting here. And here too, I don't really want it to be too obvious. I just need it to blend seamlessly into the concealer. So before I get into my under eye, I'm going to blend the blush. So because I'm using the same brush, but you can use different brushes, you can use beauty blenders. This is just my preference. I just find it more seamless for me. So I'm going to rub off the excess. If you want to follow the tip I'm using, I rub off the excess, then I go back in, if that makes sense. And I keep doing that because the brush is just effective. Like it removes it and then you keep it pushing. It doesn't hold products too much. I'm going back here and I stipple, and I just stipple because your aim is to keep the pigment. Can you see that? Seamless. So I just tap in. So my tip right now, I tap to keep the concealer or whatever color the same. Like I don't want it to lose its color, but I swipe to reduce it if I feel like I don't want it to be that obvious, if that makes sense. That's something I'm going to do for here, and that's something I'm going to do for my under eye because I want my bright under eye to really show. But can you see that? Seamless, period. And you can still see the contour, and yeah, that's what it's looking like right now. So we're getting into the concealer. I don't normally contour my nose that much. I usually just highlight. But for the purpose of this video, I would blend this out because I do not want it to still show, and that's why I'm swiping. You swipe when you do not want to keep the product that much. You don't want it harsh. And you tap when you want the color to at least stay, even though you want to blend it. So you see, gone, period. That was easy. And I just used a small, dense, fluffy brush just to like rub it a little bit. It's soft. When the brush is soft, it's a good indicator for a very good blending brush. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my under eye. So we're rubbing, see, the blush is coming off. And I'm going to go back in with my eye. So when it comes to my eye, when I don't have lashes, which is perfect, but makes it easier to blend. So I'm going to just tap so that this place stays bright, if that makes sense. And I close my eye, so because I don't mind if it blends with my eyelid, because I'm still going to cover it with eyeshadow or something. So it doesn't really matter. So this is what I do just to make sure it stays in the middle. Can you see, to keep the color, you have to tap in position. And a little bit of swiping, a little bit of tapping, just because I don't want it to really enter the nose too much. Are you subscribed? Subscribe now. Yeah, so that's gone. So I'm going to do this side. So I'm just rubbing just a little bit because I want that place to not be too harsh. Period. So we're done blending that part. So I'm just going to blend the forehead. Oh my god, I'm just going to blend the forehead area now. I don't like too much highlight on there. And then for the nose, you can go with a small blending brush again, the one I use for the contour, and I just rub the excess on my hand. It works for most brushes, but like, it depends on the brush, genuinely, if it decides to behave. But like, I'm just trying to blend it out as much as I can without it getting darker. I hope the up closes are nice, but I just want you guys to see how creamy it is. So now we're done creaming. Now we can set in peace. Okay? If you're feeling a little bit extra, you can always spray this midway. I feel like it helps. But like, there's no need. Like, it's not compulsory. The before and after are always like the most important part. Next tip, setting powder. Set every part of your face. Every part, not only your under eye, girl. You set everything. And me, I set according to the shade I'm setting. Setting my under eye, I use a loose powder, whether it is white, it's never going to be brown, because that's going to make it darker. What's going to brighten the place up if you want to darken it, okay? Keep that in mind. And for my blush, I go with the same color as well. So I go in with my blush, how I want my blush to be. If your blush is looking pastel-y, is looking dull, is looking ashy, girl, get a liquid blush. I use the NYX lip paint. It's almost done. It is the Amsterdam shade NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream. I personally love a pink blush. I do not like the orangey. I do not like the peachy. It still looks peachy now, but like, you need a red lippy if you want to get that pink shade on a dark skin tone. So I do red lipstick as the blush, or a blush, but like, I've not really seen a blush that I really like, so I always go with the lipstick if I find. Then I go in with pink blush, which gives my pink Barbie blush vibe. Okay, I go in with my blush first. I set my blush first just because I feel like I don't want any other powder to sit on top of my red blush. Like I want it to really get the most it can get, but you can do it either way. You can go in with your under eye first. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't make a big enough a difference for me to tell you to do otherwise. Yeah, I'm going in with my blush first, and then I'm going to go in with my under eyes, and then I'm going to go in with my face. So when I say blend according to the shade, if you have a bronzer, put it where you put the bronzer, not here. This is just underneath. This is just ignore the bottom. But for here, if you want to contour, you can use the contour stick, bronzer rather, to apply there just lightly. I do not have my bronzer with me, unfortunately, so I'm just going to add my blush and face powder and under eye loose powder. So let's get into setting. This is how you make transfer proof. You have to set it with powder, because when it's powder, it's less likely to transfer than without, okay? Because when it's liquid, you can just rub it off right now. So you have to think about it in that kind of manner, okay? So I'm going to be using the Dior Backstage blush in pink. I don't know what it's scratched off, but I know they've been trolling this thing for a while, but it works for me. My aim is always to get that Kylie Jenner like 2017 blush. Like it's just very pink bubblegum blush. I don't see many creators doing that much. Like UK girls be doing it, but like I barely see people that do it how I like it. So it's the Kylie Jenner, I call it. But yeah, this is, I see some shade, people saying that it doesn't show on dark skin. It doesn't really show, I can't lie. But I'm a little bit I'm already used to it, so it's working for me. And I always go back in with another blush as well, just to make sure it's as pigmented as I want it to be. But I always go in with this first, and I won't lie to you guys. So I apply it to where I applied the blush, and I just tap in. Can you see it's showing? So I don't know why they're shading it, but like you need to have an underlayer. It won't work without something underneath, period. Can you see the blush? It's blushing. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ooh. Can you see that? This is what I go for. And then I'm going to go in the other side. I always go in with the blush first, and then I'm going to go back in. So I also have this blush that I add as well. It's a darker shade, just a little bit darker. It's not too far off. It's darker, so it shows more. So I add it at the corners, at the back. But this is just a preference. You can apply however you like. But me, I'm just saying this to say, set everything according to the shade you put in so it doesn't disappear. If I put a white powder over it, it's going to make it duller. It defeats the purpose of liquid blush, if that makes sense. So if you're adding liquid blush, don't set it with white powder, sorry. But like, see this blush is blushing. I've added enough blush. I might add later on, but like, I think we're good. We're good for now. So now I'm gonna set my under eye. This is a lifesaver. It is the best thing that has been invented. So before you even set your face, check for creases. I'm used to do my makeup, so it usually doesn't. It has just a little bit, so I'm gonna just blend that in. So all you need to do is take your blending brush, whatever you're using, and just look up and tap. It's going to make the creasing disappear. Look up and tap so that you blend in between the creases, okay? Now I'm going to go in. Where's my powder? I'm always looking for this powder, you guys, because it doesn't fit into my makeup box. So I'm going to be using the Chanel loose powder. I tried it one random summer when I was going to night. I just bought it. I just tried it once and I used it. When it was done, I noticed the difference when I switched back to Laura Mercier. So it's a personal thing. So I don't know if anybody else has any other like opinions, but I get it in a very bright light shade. If you're going for a bright under eye, I really recommend. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean up. Why is it pouring? Like, bro, it is ridiculous. It's not meant to be pouring for the price. It just keeps pouring all over the place and it's pissing me off. But I have Miss Chanel with us today. It broke, but like I got the Universal Libre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it. I would hate pronouncing rubbish. Natural Finish Loose Powder in shade 30. It's basically white loose powder, but like I feel like if you're going for a very bright under eye, it would like stay there if you make it pigmented, if that makes sense. So the reason why I love this brush so much is because it gets into the deep corners of your eye. So it's specifically made for that purpose. So I feel like it's just perfect. I found a random like local Toronto makeup artist brand. So I'm just going to apply it in the corners of my eye. So as you can see, my face is set for the gods. I don't have my bronzer with me. If not, I would have bronzed up this area. I might go in with eyeshadow, but like, let's just disregard that for now. My makeup is basically done. So the last thing, this thing looks crusty, so I'm not going to show you up close. But L'Oreal, they knew what they were doing with this, and it's affordable. It's cheaper, but like I might still get the luxury one, but like it's cheaper. This is the face powder I use. I also, if you want to go for a bright under eye, get a bright L'Oreal press powder. It will give you that bright under eye, like exactly what you're going for. This today is more of a natural look, but like if you want more videos, let me know in the comments and I'll be back. But like that's by the way. Yeah, spend your money, it's worth it and it lasts forever. I got this in the shade 355 Sienna, and it basically matches my skin tone, at least as close as we're getting. And I'm basically going to go in with something with a thick brush. I'm going to use my brush, but I'm going to just apply the excess to my hand. My hand is basically my palette. Tap, tap, tap. I'm basically setting the foundation in so that it does not move and it's not like smudgy everywhere. Okay? Can you see the contour is still showing? But that's what I want. And I apply it to the excess around my forehead. When I remove my headband, I'm gonna go back in with this powder just to like blend it in. But like, we're basically done. But like, there's one more tip I have for you and I'll show you at the end of the video. I'm gonna do the rest of my stuff without talking because everything else is an add-on. If your skin is good, you have no issues. That's basically the holy tea. What the hell? Wholesome. That's the entirety. English. If your skin is flawless, you have nothing else to worry about. Everything else is an add-on. So before moving forward, I just want to show you guys the YSL mascara that was sent to me. I'm using the waterproof mascara and I just feel like it's definitely worth it. I'm not even joking. And me, I love a good mascara. And final step, Charlotte Tilbury. It's not an ad, it's not sponsored. This is a personal opinion, but this is the best thing that I've added to my makeup that has made my makeup last and transfer proof. If you spray more than once in your routine, you're going to notice a difference, but you have to let it dry before doing anything else. So I'm just gonna let that dry. Normally I would go in with like a highlighter, but today I'm filming a lot of content today. I don't think I want any form of dewiness to my skin. As you can see, I don't know how to talk anymore because my makeup is done. So now that it's all dry, I'm gonna take off my headband off camera and I'll be right back with the final look. Thank you so much for clicking this video. Please give this video a thumbs up and I'll be back with more videos. I testify of you. I told I like you, that bitch I do it. All them around you scared to do it. I'm not. Long as you looking out here for me, I got it. Promise, give me do it. I your bodies. Long as you dreaming about me, ain't no problem. I don't got nobody just with you right now. Tell the truth, I look better under you. I can't lose.